What's going on, guys? It's your man, Ed Hayes, the wholesale coach here, back for another video, guys. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my real estate philosophy, what I consider to be the most important factors that makes the biggest difference on whether you're going to have a consistent, sustainable business or you're probably just going to be a one-hit wonder. So I hope that you pump for this content. Go ahead, hit that like button now, and let's go ahead, let's dive into this content.
I want it all, expensive drip, exotic cars when I took that loss.
Now, so guys, the 5 pillars of real estate, guys. If you came out to my recent webinar, you would have heard me talking about these 5 pillars, but I wanted to bring them to the channel to be able to provide as much value to the audience as possible, guys. Y'all know I'm always out here trying to put y'all on. So these 5 pillars are, like I said, they're my philosophy. That's what I came up with, that I believe from what I've seen from working with other wholesalers, trying to help them build their businesses, working with other wholesalers that are already at a top tier level, making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, as well as building my own business, of course. I've learned a lot of things about what it takes to get to the table consistently. And I came up with this framework for how you can actually replicate these results and start to get deals consistently yourself. So let's just dive into it. Pillar number 1 of the 5 most important pillars to get consistent deals while wholesaling real estate, or any type of real estate for that matter. It could be wholesaling, investing, being an agent. Let me just dive into it. Pillar number 1 is gonna be relationships, guys. I believe that having the relationships established with other wholesalers, realtors, JV partners, buyers, sellers, title companies, attorneys. There's so many very important relationships that you need to have established if you want to get consistent deals out here. Okay, so I highly recommend that you do that first. If you don't have the relationships in place, then it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to be able to actually process a deal from start to finish all the way to the closing table. That can even include a coach or a mentor, other people in the market that can help you along the way and make the process of getting to deals a lot smoother and easier to replicate. Okay, so pillar number 1 is relationships. Pillar number 2 is gonna be expertise. Okay, so when you're out here in the field, you've got to be knowledgeable enough for buyers to be confident enough in you that you can actually make it to the closing table. Not everybody can actually get there. Now, a lot of people can talk a good talk, but can you actually make it to the closing table? Do you even know what an ARV is and how to calculate it? Like, do you know what a return on investment is, or net operating income? Like, are you knowledgeable enough in all of these different facets to build up that confidence inside of your buyers to be able to take down these properties? You need them to believe that you can make it to the closing table. Okay, so you need to be knowledgeable enough. You need to know the numbers and the lingo. It's super important. I've actually got a video. I'll probably pop it up somewhere above me right now, so you can click on it and watch that video. It's probably going to be in the links to in the description of this video as well, so you can see how I like to go about doing that. Okay, but I highly recommend that you start to build up these relationships and that you get the expertise necessary really before you press the play button on your business. You don't want to just be out here kind of throwing crap at a wall and hoping that something sticks. But that's why number 2 kind of ties into number 1, because when you are out here and you're building up those relationships, you don't necessarily need to know everything. You can leverage the knowledge and experience of others and have them help you build up your business. Okay, so keep these pillars in mind, guys. This is a real life framework. Pillar number 3 is gonna be valium. Actually, it's gonna be valium. Okay, I hear a lot of people all the time complaining about how they aren't getting deals and they've only made like 20 phone calls from start to finish. They haven't even talked to 20 people. They've literally just made 20 calls, and they're starting to get discouraged and feeling like maybe they can't do this or that this isn't right for them. Well, I want you to understand that what I've noticed most typically is that people tend to get their first or next deal within about 200 to 500 contacts we're talking about. So we're talking about between a 0.02 to a 0.05 conversion ratio. Okay, so not every deal is going to turn into a deal. You'll find plenty of people who want to sell you their crappy properties, but just because they want to sell it to you doesn't make it a deal. You're looking for the needle in the haystack pretty much. You're looking for people who need your help. Okay, so, but you've got to get enough volume. If they don't know that you're available, how can they shop with you? How can they sell their property utilizing your service if you're not telling them that you're out there? So you've got to get the volume necessary. And you can actually check out a video that I have on my channel about 39 different ways to market your wholesaling business. I highly recommend that you check that out. You know the drill is either going to be above me and or in the links in the description of this video. Okay, so after volume, guys, so once again, real quick, actually, before I get off of volume, let me just remind you that I recommend that you make between 50 to over 500 calls per day, depending on whether you have an automatic dialer like a Mojo dialer or not. Okay, so if you're just calling yourself, I recommend that you make at least 50 phone calls per day. Okay, and then like upwards to however many. There is no limit on how many phone calls you should make. There's just a bare minimum requirement. If you do that consistently, you should be making, if you make 50 to 200 calls per day, even if you only call for 5 days out the week, you'll be making between 250 to 1,000 calls per week, which should get you enough contacts to be squeezing one deal out of your pipeline per week. Potentially, okay, between 2 to 8 potential deals you should have in your pipeline per month. If you just make the calls 5 days out the week, guys, but you got to be getting the consistency and the volume. Okay, so I actually just gave you a sneak peek because we're going into pillar 4, and pillar 4 is consistency. Okay, this can't just be a one-time event. You got to look at your wholesaling business like a child, like an infant on life support. The business needs you. You got to be doing this every day. You got to stay consistent. You got to make the calls. You got to put in the work. You got to drive for dollars. You got to be a man or woman of your word. That means you got to do everything in your power to stay consistent and do this on a daily basis. Don't make this a one-time event. That's what I see so many people fail at, is that they're looking for a get-rich-quick idea. And a lot of times they come across wholesaling and they see that as an opportunity to go from broke to $10,000 plus just because they saw one person out of the hundreds of thousands of people who are trying to do this actually get that deal. So you can't be looking at all of this fantastical stuff that you may see in groups like Wholesaling Houses Elite and wholesale deals, not what is it called, cash buyers, JVs and deals. All of these different groups, you'll see all of these people cashing these huge enormous checks. Oh, I've only been working on it for a week, I just got 25,000. A lot of people be lying, first off, and then a lot of times you're only going to see the good things. You don't see all the adversity that they had to go through. You don't see all of the work that they had to put in. You don't recognize that they've been consistently putting in work for the last 300 days trying to get this deal, and then they finally got that $15,000 deal, that $25,000, $35,000 deal. That's usually how it is. People post their checks, but they don't tell you a lot of the heartache that kind of came with it. They don't really kind of break down what they had to do to actually get that deal. Okay, so I just be realistic with yourself and be consistent. Get the numbers necessary with the volume, but consistently doing it to where it's not a one-time event. You got a seller that was interested, and now all of a sudden you spent the next month just trying to work with that one seller instead of consistently trying to build your business. A lot of you right now have some deals on the line, and you could be working those deals and trying to get more deals, but you've stopped everything that you're doing so you can hopefully maybe get this one deal. but you aren't being consistent. You're not consistently putting yourself out there to attract brand new clients. At any given moment, that deal that you're working on, God forbid this doesn't happen, but it can fall through on you. And then what happens when that happens? Then you're screwed. Now you're starting back at square one. But had you been consistent and been building up that momentum and getting multiple sellers interested in selling their houses, now you be in a position to not have to worry about that one deal, okay? And I see this happen all the time. So make sure that you're consistently building your business no matter what. No exceptions, no matter what happens. Be building your business every single day. It's like an infant on life support. Take it seriously. Okay? And then last but not at all leastly, guys, it's a lot of you out there that are already making calls. You got the relationships. You understand what you're doing. You're doing everything, it feels like. But somehow, some way, you're still not getting deals. Well, guys, for you all, the problem is most likely going to be tracking and analyzing everything. Okay, so this kind of really goes into a lot of different things, but I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible for you. First off, when it comes to tracking leads, a lot of you all are making phone calls out here and you aren't using a CRM or customer relationship management software like Podio or Zoho or Asana or sites like that let you organize your leads in an easy way. So it's easy to search these leads. What I highly recommend, if you're working on a budget, just check out Google Sheets. But a lot of you all aren't actually tracking your leads. So you may have talked to 20 people today, but you only remember the information for like a few people, and maybe you weren't even taking notes while you were on the phone calls with these people, or you're just writing everything by hand, and these notes tend to get scattered and lost, and now all of a sudden you've got all of these leads, but you don't know what to do with them. So it feels like you don't have much going on, but you talked to Mr. Johnson and you forgot to follow up with him because you weren't tracking your leads properly. So I see this happen all the time with plenty different wholesalers all across the nation who are taking action. So if you're taking action, you got to track your leads all the way until they get to the closing table. Don't think just because somebody told you yes that they want to sell you their house, or even if they told you no, I don't want to sell right now, maybe follow up with me in a few months. You just forget about those people. You've got to be tracking these people. You want to have multiple different lists available to you for like a follow-up in 6 weeks list, a call back tomorrow list. If you're using Google Sheets, what I recommend is just color coding your list. So every good phone call, quote unquote good phone call that you had, you want to label those green. You want to label all of your I left a voicemail with these people yellow. You want to left all of the don't call me back again, or they're on the do not call list, or you know that it's not the person that you're trying to talk to, or their number is disconnected. You want to highlight those red. Okay, so that's just a simple, easy way to track and analyze your leads so they're not getting lost in your pipeline. Okay, so and then next is going to be analyzing. So this is a two-piece right here. And when it comes to analyzing, what I realize is that a lot of you all are just taking too much time to analyze one property, and that kind of goes back into the last pillar, which was it was consistency, actually. Yeah, because, a lot of you all, you can't be consistently making brand new phone calls because you're taking 17 hours to analyze every property because you're overly nervous and thinking way too hard about what you need to do to get this property shot out. Now, I know a lot of people that I talk to all the time, they like, yeah, I've had this property under contract for a week and I've only shot it to like 5 people. It's like, you're not going to get this property sold working like that. You've got to be analyzing quickly, getting it done, trying to get to the closing table quickly. Like, speed is the key, guys. So analyze quickly. And I've got videos on my channel about how to analyze a property and know whether it's priced properly. And I'm most likely going to have links in the description to that as well. But none of this stuff has to be very overly complicated or difficult to implement. I just want you all to realize that. Okay, so those are my 5 pillars. I'm just going to run through them one more time just so you got it. So, pillar number 1 is going to be relationships. You've got to have the relationships necessary, like relationships with buyers, title companies, etc., to be able to take these properties down. Next is going to be expertise. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know the numbers and the lingo to instill that confidence in your buyers so they believe that you can make it to the closing table. Next is going to be volume, guys. You got to be making enough calls to realistically get a deal. And I recommend calling between at least 250 to 1,000, making 250 to 1,000 calls per week. Okay. And then next is going to be consistency. You got to be doing this every day. It can't be a one-time event. Your business is like an infant on life support. You wouldn't let that infant just sit there and you not help it. You're going to work and help that business. I mean, help that child every single day. You wouldn't just let the child falter and fall into the wayside. You would be right there by its side, making sure that it was good and it had everything that it needed. That's how you need to treat your business. Consistency, okay? Treat it like it is. This is what's going to get you free. This is what's going to allow you to live that dream that you're trying to live. This is what's going to get you to where you're trying to go in life and allow you to start, investing in real estate actually and become the buyer and build up a legacy for yourself or just bring in that extra income that you're looking. Treat it as such. Treat it with the amount of respect that it deserves. Okay, and then lastly is going to be tracking and analyzing. A lot of you all are already doing everything else, but you're letting leads slip through the cracks. Don't let them slip through the cracks. Make sure that you follow these leads all the way into the closing table. Okay, so I hope that my philosophy on real estate, I hope that this helps you. I hope that my 5 pillars and how I organize myself, how I see my business. This is a real estate business framework right here. If you just view your entire business through these pillars, then you can really see what you need to improve on. You can tell like, okay, well, I realize I'm not making enough phone calls. So therefore this is a volume thing. And therefore it's going to affect these other factors. So you have to have all 5 of these pillars. This is the foundation. This is the structure. This is the base for your entire business. So I really, really hope that this helps you. I hope that this provides you some value. It helps me every single day. When I wake up, I'm seeing my business through this lens. When I'm working with my team, we're talking about our business through these lenses pretty much. It's a framework. It's a paradigm. It's a way to see what you're doing. So I hope that this video helps, guys. I hope that you all have a blessed rest of your day, evening, whatever it is for you right now, guys. I hope that you liking it. Also, as you all may have noticed, I got the new mic, guys. I'm trying to come with the highest quality possible for the audience, guys. Y'all know I love y'all, man. I'm out here trying to put in as much work as possible for my audience because just like I got these blessings, I'm trying to give them out to you all so we can all keep moving up, keep moving forward, guys. You can do this. So don't doubt yourself. I promise you, you can get these deals. You can start for $1,000 or less. I'm going to be having a video on the channel coming up really soon on how to do exactly that. So stay tuned for that as well, guys. And I got a ton more content coming for you all. I'm always going to be out here trying to make sure that I provide as much help as possible. So that being said, that's just about it. But real quick, let me just end this, guys. Look, check this out. If you need any additional help, if you feel like this video was good, but you really wish that you just could take this to the next level and get started, just know that I'm out here to help you guys. If you need leads, coaching, contracts, whatever it is that you need, I'm Ed Hayes, the wholesale coach. I'm out here. I'm available for you if you need coaching, all of that stuff, guys. Check out the links in the description of this video if you need any extra help, and I'm there for you. You can get my Wholesaler University, which is over 75 videos where I break down everything that I know about wholesaling. You can get my wholesale real estate contracts, over 100 documents that I use in my business every single day to get deals can be yours. If you need coaching from me one-on-one, personally, guys, I got you. Just click the links in the description. There's an application process involved for the coaching. But just know that you're not out here on your own. You've got help. You've got people that's right here willing to help you. Even if it's not me, I may not be the best option for you. If I'm not, I'll recommend somebody else who may be. So reach out, use the links in the description, guys. I hope that you all keep rocking and rolling. Let's get it. Let's end this year the right way. Q4, guys. Let's end 2019 in style. Till next time, guys, I am out.